Hello knitters and hookers, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to be attempting to knit a tank top. I tried it once before, it came out okay, maybe I'll insert a clip. I have this cotton jumper which I got from a charity shop for £7.50. To get enough cotton yarn to crochet a vest would probably cost me like £20–30. So just buying this jumper for £7.50 and then unravelling it into yarn is far cheaper. I've already done one sleeve, so let's just unravel the second sleeve and hopefully that will be enough yarn to make a Christmas vest. Let's do it. Okay, that's one sleeve dismembered. I love it when you get a perfect cake of yarn. As you can see here, I'm going to be knitting this using a knitting machine. This is because I can't be bothered to hand knit an entire vest. I bought this machine from eBay for 50 quid. It came with my ball winder, which I did my yarn cake on. 50 quid. If you include that charity shop jumper, plus this 50 quid, that's, £57.50. You could easily buy something for £57.50. But I'm going to make it. It's going to be exactly the colours I want. Hopefully it will fit me the best that anything's ever fit me. In theory, that makes sense, but Anyway, let me show you what I've done so far and what the next steps will be. Voiceover Ben here. On screen Ben was rambling too much, so I cut him out. Here I have 3 Fair Isle patterns I came up with on my knitting machine of various types of Christmas tree. I just wanted to show you how my thinking process evolved from having quite a cluttered pattern to having nice clean Christmas trees. In the end I didn't use any of these designs though, as you're about to see. Okay, I've finished my sample. Now it's time to take it off the machine and see what it looks like. It's looking good from the back, but let's see what it looks like from the front. Oh. It's not exactly what I had planned. This is what it looks like. It looks pretty cool though. And for what I want to do, it's good enough. I need to block this, which essentially means getting it wet and letting it dry flat. And when I measure how far apart the stitches are, I'm going to get a good gauge for how many stitches wide my vest needs to be. If I don't do that, and I make my vest just measuring this one, and then when I wash my vest and let it dry, it's going to either get bigger or smaller. So it's best to do it on the sample before we do all the measuring. I've got this tank top that I like the fit of, so I'm going to measure it up with a ruler and draw out a plan on my pick-a-bad. Okay, so I've drawn up my patterns for my tank top. So now I just need to check my gauge swatches and see how many stitches fit into each one of these squares, and we should be able to work out the knitting pattern from there. So I've just reached the Fair Isle bit, that is to say the bit with the Christmas trees, and as you can see I'm really struggling to push the carriage and something's definitely wrong here. I've lost some stitches. I think I lost some stitches. So despite all that work, you can see, I decided to take the project off the machine and try again. It's been a few days. In that time, I made a new swatch, which is a lot stretchier because I used a lot less tighter gauge. A lot less tighter gauge? You know what I mean. Here I am starting with some blue waste yarn. I'm ready to start the fair isle. Wish me luck. All that effort just to get to this bit and then it doesn't work. It's really disappointing. After many frustrating hours of experimenting, I've decided to stick with the fair isle, but I'm just going to manipulate the needles by hand rather than using the knobs on the machine because it just doesn't want to work. I think because I'm using cotton, which is less stretchy than say acrylic, it's just not forgiving enough for me to be able to use them. But it seems to be working fine if I do it by hand. So let me try that and I'll show you the results. That was a hassle, I'm not gonna lie. It took me probably longer to do the 30 rows of fair isle than it did the entire rest of the back of this vest. Here it is. Look at those Christmas trees. Was it worth the hour or so it took just to get these 30 rows? If only the knobs worked. If only the knobs worked. I don't know why they're not working. Might be because it's an old machine. It might need some maintenance. I don't really know how to maintain it. But I achieved what I set out to achieve. I'm going to make the front another day because I've had enough of this machine for today. I'll see you when I've got the front done. 2 weeks have passed since I shot that last clip. And now I'm in bed with Draco Malfoy and I'm just using the Kitchener stitch to close up the shoulder seams. And then I decided to crochet double crochet stitch along the hem, shoulder openings and neck opening. What do you think? I'm pretty pleased with the results myself. If I were to do it again, there's a few things I would change. I would probably take about 5 centimeters out of the front and the back, which would bring the Christmas tree line up to where I want it, and also maybe make the risk of nipple showage a little bit less. And one other thing I would do differently is that I would do the edges on the machine itself rather than crocheting them afterwards. Because the machine makes such a tight stitch that unless I had the tiniest crochet hook in the world, I would never be able to get the right tension on these because they're too big. And at the bottom, they're kind of coming up. But that being said, I really love the design and I think this is super appropriate for winter, right? Okay, that's it for this video. If you want to see more machine knitting videos in the future, let me know in the comments. And please like this video, and why not consider subscribing, as both of these things help my channel to grow bigger and allow more people to see my creations, craziness, whatever you want to call it. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!